Hey everyone, I hope you all can hear me. Okay. Sorry, I was like a minute late. I apologize. I tried to be on time. I had just gotten up to get something to drink. By the way, it looks like Roger's little love bunny is here. How are you? Samantha Stevens. Hi, Lovey. How are you? And hey, just keep it real. I hope all is good. Speaking of just keep it real, I'm drinking on the beach, which is one of her specialty energy teas that I don't know if you've made that or not yet. Um, in one of your members live only video, but her teas are amazing. They really are. I should do like a commercial for you and my family because they all so good that we all kind of fight over them. I'm sorry. I don't know. I swallowed wrong just before coming on. Yes, today's tea looked amazing. Oh my gosh, it looked like a strawberry dream. It really did. Like summer was written all over it. It looked really cool. So I will give it another minute or two before I start in. Um, in case you don't know, I'm Susie, as it says in the lower left hand corner of my screen. Um, I just recently started this channel about 2+ weeks ago, and it's pretty much about focused on being a little person in an average size world. And so many people like have asked questions on how, like, what is life like, that I felt that I would make this channel about talking about our similarities within an average size world. And it's great. I love it. I don't know any different, but people have asked, well, how do you do that? Well, I do it this way or that way. So you're going to have to continue watching my videos. And if you have any specific questions you'd like me to go more in depth of, I will do that. I'll create a live and go forward from there. And I like the live thing because I feel like I can connect with all of you and talk about real life things. Hi, Brenda. How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm so excited. I've seen your comments at like on the replay, and I'm excited to get to know you better. I just love it. I feel like I have newfound friends, which would be like my YouTube friends. And it's really exciting getting to know people and having people ask questions in the chat and my chat getting along so well. Hey, Queen, how are you today? So I still apologize. I don't know how I just am going with a nasty, raspy voice. I apologize. So today's topic is, how did you know? Well, I'm not really starting with me. Well, I am starting with me, but how did I know I was a little person. That's the best way to do it because I think when you have an individual difference and you've always led your life as such, you really don't think you're different. And my parents, back in before 1970, they didn't have ultrasounds like they have today. It's like maybe they had like heartbeat monitors, maybe, I'm not sure. I never went into that level of detail with my mom, but to like, how did you know? Like, did you know right away? And if I recall, and I didn't ask my mom this before I came on here, but based off of what I believe she had told me was I just, popped out and there we were. And I don't think my mom didn't really know that I was different. Um, but because she had no idea, she didn't babysit babies, on the daily. So she really didn't know what it looked like. Oh, wow, yes. Just Keep It Real said that her aunt had twins and had no clue until she actually gave birth because they didn't do ultrasounds when she was pregnant unless you had a problem. Yeah. And I think that was the same way. Definitely. You just pop out and there you go. Doctor probably was up in there with his hand and oh, felt another one. Who would have thunk? Yeah, you really don't think about those types of things the way it used to be. And the one thing is you were blessed with an amazing baby. And that's what I always tell my parents. They had tried for about 10 years to have kids, and I was, look at what they got, you know? I always tell them, you were the luckiest parents. I remind my mom that all the time. And I used to say that to my dad. You are so lucky to have had me. Your life wouldn't have been this exciting. So that was really nice, I think, about the element of surprise back then. And how babies have checkups after they're born. I don't know what the checkup schedule was, but I think it was like on my first or second month checkup, the doctor had noticed that I wasn't growing appropriately. And he could tell by my arms and my legs that I had some type of dwarfism. And I'm sure, I mean, I don't know if he was like, oh my gosh, there's an Acon. I don't think that he really knew what type of little person I was. And all he told my parents was, she's going to be little. Um, there wasn't, the internet, television, reality TV was not a big thing. Little people really weren't on Mr. Rogers. There was a lot, or on the news kind of thing. But it was exciting for them, but yet scary because they really had no idea how big I would become. Would I be able to? I think my mom said she wasn't sure if I'd be able to reach the chalkboards at school. And even growing up in with an average sized family, it I think was very different from them. But I did start to grow and I did progress, and I could do all the normal kind of things that average size babies could do. Samantha, Susie, do you know what your birth weight was? No, but I think it was pretty average, like maybe six something. I know I think it was 6 pounds, some odd ounces. But there's also like, how do I say this? I am not providing medical advice or anything like that or diagnosis of people, but I have noticed that if there's a little baby in a shopping cart, let's say, like a newborn in the thing or in a stroller, and you can see the baby, can I kind of tell if they have the same type of dwarfism as myself? And I would say yes. It's just features. And a lot of times people with achondroplasia have really big heads, and some people have small heads. A lot of times, when I look at their faces, I'm not quite sure all the time, but I can tell from their hands. Typically, a person with achondroplasia, and if you look at the different TV shows, you may notice that, but a lot of people with achondroplasia have, like, they call it trident, which means a gap between these two fingers. But me, I don't have those. Like, if they were to put their fingers together, it would it wouldn't be able to connect like that. So that was not a key feature. Hey, Beezer, welcome in. Oh, yes, today is Grandma Day. You are so fortunate. Very fortunate. Roger, little love bunny, you have shorter arms. Oh, that's interesting. Like, do people realize that? Is it really noticeable or no? I'm not sure. That's interesting though. And yeah, my dad was like 5'11", I think, and he had very long arms. My sister is very much has very large arms, even though, well, I shouldn't say large, they're long. And she's very thin, so she wears like a lot of large clothes, like anything long sleeve has to be a large because otherwise long sleeve doesn't really work for her. Um, but for me, oh my gosh, when I put on long sleeves, I have to roll up the sleeves or push them up. And with like sweatshirts, it looks really cool. And some sweaters, it looks cute. But 3/4 length would fit me, kind of thing. So that kind of shows, but a lot of little people with my type of dwarfism have low tone. So they're kind of floppy, like floppy arms, floppy hands, floppy wrists. Like I can do that kind of. I could be, but I just don't. Um, Low tone. My kids, like, oh my gosh, they had so much low tone. Olivia could do the splits and turn her legs in all sorts of ways when she was little. And we'd all go, wow, you know? So unlike me, back then, I never had like physical therapy when I was an infant, unlike my girls had. I didn't have occupational therapy to work with my fingers and things like that. And it was, so I didn't have those types of services, nor did I really need those types of services. Um, but when my physician had told my parents that I had some type of dwarfism, they sent us to our local children's hospital to a specific doctor at that time. that I really don't remember. All I knew, it was a creepy old hotel, hospital, very creepy. And this doctor, and I kind of remember him. He had one of those handlebar mustaches, and yeah, that, and he officially had diagnosed me and then gave my mom information about other patients that he had, like their phone numbers and address. And so, of course, my mom called them. Of course, there was no like HIPAA laws back then. Roger says, I can't button my pants because of my arms. I get that. Yeah. So you have quite the short arms. Yeah, I get it because your torso is probably average size. And I get that. I understand. Wow. So did they was your whole family like that, or was it that you were just born different than anybody else in your family? Samantha says, Roger, that's something I wouldn't have thought about. Exactly. Exactly. My daughter, Olivia, and I was going to talk about this, and I do have permission to talk about her experiences, but she has rods in her spine. And for her to do things that we all would think, like shaving your legs and stuff like that, she can't bend at the midsection. Um, and her arms are short, so a lot of things are really challenging. Oh, so Roger, it was just you. And I'm sure you had no idea, even when you were older, that you were any different than others. Brenda, I love all the information you are giving me. Well, thank you. Thank you for being part of my chat very much. But that's how my mom and dad found out about um, the Little People of America organization, which I do believe was founded like in the 1950s by an actor. His name was Billy Barty, because, they would use a lot of little people. I shouldn't say a lot, but some little people, like in the film, movie, westerns. I can't even, Wild Wild West. I remember that was the first thing that I ever saw a little person acting outside of like my home. And the organization, because the physician that we had doxed those other people, it just so happened that we are all kind of um, the same age, and we all were conceived literally, almost literally, on the same street within a, well, overall, a 50 plus block radius, or just literally down the street. My parents lived on 13th. My other friend at that time had lived on 35th, and the other one was like around 41st or 51st of the same street. And it's like, wow, how did this all happen? And I think we are all nine total. I'm the youngest out of the three who were conceived on the same street within 9 months. So, yeah, isn't that crazy? And it was just, maybe something was in the water, but I doubt it. But it was really interesting, and we had all met. Roger says, my sister says I walk like a duck. Yes, people say average size people, or even us amongst little people, we say we waddle. Ever since I've had my hip surgery, though, and they lengthened my leg 1 inch, the doctor wanted to make sure my legs were equal. I don't believe I've waddled since. And I, like, you could watch yourself in a full length mirror walk. And I'm like, wow, I don't waddle anymore. Yeah. Well, funny thing is when Steve's hair gets too long, I always say he looks like an Ewok. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's our joke. I mean, oh, your hair is getting so long. You need to get that taken care of because you're looking like a Ewok. Yes, I am so glad. And I learned a lot from my parents when, after my kids were born, how to strongly advocate with them and for them. Your sister is normal size. Mine is too. And I really don't look like anybody really in my family. My hands are, my fingers, like on my mom's side of the family, if all of us cousins were to put our hands out, our fingers, like I have a crooked, see how my finger goes crooked right here? All of us have the same crooked finger. It's kind of crazy. But no, I don't think so. I think mannerisms I have, which replicates my parents. I just noticed as I'm getting older, my nasal hole is starting to look like my mom's and my sister's. And I thought that was very interesting. It's not necessarily the best trait to have received, but it's one of them. And I don't have the same color eyes. I have green eyes, and everybody else in my family has dark brown. So, yeah, I really don't look like my sister or my parents. Not really. I think mannerisms, the way we are as individuals, is very similar, though. Um, just keep it real says, Roger, have you been diagnosed as a little person? And Roger, no, not that I know of. They told my mom I would not be a very smart person. That's really sad. That, and you are very smart. I looked at your channel and I've seen you communicating with people. Exactly. Like for me, they kind of told my parents too, I wouldn't be get very big. And that's just, like, people just didn't know, especially as we are older, and technology and genetics and ultrasounds. And every time one of my friends has a baby, I'm always like, they go for their first ultrasound or second. I get so excited because they want to see if it's going to be a little person. It's just really fun. And the likelihood of that occurring to be little like myself would be like 1 in 20,000 because of spontaneous mutation. But they're, and back then, when you're growing up in the 70s and 80s, there was not the awareness that we have today. You see TV shows on TLC about little families. You see, and within those families, a male would is married to an average size woman. And by seeing those things, especially for a man, it's really hard because um, they are intended, or what's quote unquote acceptable is the man or a man should be taller than his wife. And so it's very different, you know. And now with television and the internet, you see those differences more and being more socially acceptable. And yeah, it was hard. Like when I had my son and he was a little person, I was concerned for him, but no, he likes average size women and they like him. He's very lovable, I must say. But Roger, of course, back like in 1972, they don't have all that information that they have today. And I remember when I went to school, I can't think that people um, with different disabilities, not physical disabilities, like individuals with Down syndrome, for example, they were in a special classroom, and that was special ed for individuals that had Down syndrome. That's when you got special support. I never, I had to do what everybody else did in gym class. Some things, you know, I just ran slower than anybody. I ran the 13-minute mile as opposed to all my friends who could run the mile within 7 minutes. So there was a lot of differences. Samantha is asking, what is your height? Like, how tall are you? But of course, obviously, you don't have to answer. Yes, just keep it real. I played volleyball. Um, and in high school, and I loved it. Like, I loved sports. I was very involved in sports. um, Volleyball season was in the fall, and then in the winter there was basketball. But once you're in high school and elementary school and middle school, I played basketball and I liked it. I like sports. And then in high school, I managed the girls basketball team, but I would practice with them every day, every single day. I would be out there running, and I did everything that they did as well. Hey, cheesecake, please. Oh my gosh, I was looking at cheesecake reels, you know, on YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Welcome to my chat. Thank you. So, you know, things I just did that. And then I played on the varsity softball team as well. And the position I held was catcher. And I was never afraid of somebody hitting me with a bat. I wasn't afraid of all of those things. Yeah, I just really loved it. And then even as an adult, I'd play in the bar leagues. um, I'm sure they have bar leagues all over where y'all live too, but it would be women's softball, and that I really like. I loved playing sports, but then of course I had kids, And I used to go to the gym and had gym memberships. And one day I showed up at the gym. I was meeting a friend, and the gym was done, just like shut down. After you spent, you'd have to pay a membership fee, and it was crazy. After like 6 months of doing that, the gym just shut down. Well, and that was back in the 90s. But I enjoyed doing all those things. And then in 1998, I gave birth to twins. Of course, not I didn't, it was just natural. And like my dad said, oh, that egg must have been left over from last month. And I'm like, because the twins were separate. So with two separate eggs. And I'm like, I don't know how many, eggs women get on a monthly basis, and how many come out and turn into um, babies. I'm like clueless on that. And they were able to see right away. I was very involved in the Little People's Organization, Little People of America. They had an annual conference somewhere in the United States. And then there would be regional conferences, which I was really involved with throughout high school as best I could when not playing sports, and national conferences once a year. And I remember going to my first Little People conference, and it was in 1983. And I'm talking the national conference. So you're talking about like 2,000 people, maybe up to 5,000. It just depends nowadays. It's more known, and people become members and go to more conferences. And I remember walking in there with my mom, and I was a freshman in high school. I was 13. And I said to my mom, do I really look like that? And not that I, thought they looked horrible. The little people that were there, I never thought that. But I had no idea that, do I walk like that? Do I look like that? And it was a little bit of an adjustment, but after a while, it was really nice. It was nice to see people just like that. Let me see. Okay, Roger, you're 5'2". I'm short. Yeah, but you're still tall. You're way taller than myself. That's for sure. All right. Cheesecake says, hey, twisted little bunny. That's cute. What a cute name, Twisted Little Bunny. Oh, let me see. Roger, your dad said he found you in a trash can. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we always tell my son, we call him FedEx. Most definitely. I know, but it just depends. But your parents were very blessed to have you. I hope that was a positive thing your dad said in a positive light. So thank you. Just keep it real. I appreciate it. So that was kind of how I got involved in the Little People's Organization, and that organization is still going strong today. They offer free medical clinics during the conference. They have lots of speakers, and well, different things, different types of meetings that you can go to. So it was, very enlightening. And then, they did, in the 90s have an internet, a web address. So you could find out more information, but we paid an annual fee because it was cool when I was younger. We would get paper newsletters, like what was like a magazine kind of thing. And it really showcased, people being successful and like way to goes. And then there would be a column with regards to, and hold on one second. It just is storming here. Hold on. I need to close my window. Sorry about that. My patio door was wide open and I'm sitting right here and it's just started to pour. Roger, that's really sad. But you know what? It's unfortunate that they didn't look at all the things that you could do. And that's the way I look at it. My kids, when it comes to sports, are nothing like me. I'm extremely competitive. Um, I'm I'm competitive, like when I work. I'm competitive with my coworkers, but it's not necessarily like, oh, I will beat you and I'm going to do more. And not, it has nothing to do with that. I just have been very competitive as to how I present myself and who I really am. And it's unfortunate where my kids aren't competitive. And it's it's just I have to be prepared and just keep it real can tell you that I just, I need to have notes. Like I have notes for today, and I'm making sure that there were things that I had thought about earlier, and I kind of write them down. And then I have to rewrite my notes because the first ones were kind of messy. And now I'm rewriting them. I'm looking outside, and it's literally hailing outside. Literally. It's unbelievable. I'm like, oh my gosh, big chunks of, hail. I don't know. And it really wasn't that hot today. I mean, it was in the 50s, but that's about normal. Let me see here. Samantha is asking that she hasn't seen you, Roger, in chat. It looks like you follow Kimmy Love. I'll have to check her out. Most definitely. I don't know who she is. Lots of people don't want you in their chats. Roger, you can be in this chat, and I don't know why people don't want you in their chat. I love everybody, and as long as you're respectful of the people in the chat, that's all that really matters. Just keep it real says when we get hail, I'm sure that's what you said, in Georgia, that usually means a tornado is coming. Wow, that's different. Definitely different. When here in Wisconsin, when you're about to have a tornado, it's when the air temperature like changes dramatically. Like it's like hot and very dead silent. dead silent. And it's all right. I love watching storms, to be honest with you. I really love storms. Just keep it real. So you changed it from hail to jail. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Samantha, thank you for saying that. Everyone is welcome here as long as people are respectful. Absolutely. And that's super sweet because we do like people being in the chat. I do. Cheesecake. I'm from Moore, Oklahoma. Tornado 2013 impacted you. Wow. I hope everybody was safe during that, but definitely that's the kind when storms are vicious like that and impact people. That's really hard. But in Oklahoma, isn't that like the tornado capital of the world almost? We get tornadoes here occasionally, very much so. Hey, Crazed, good to see you. We're just talking about the hail that we're having right now with some storm. Definitely. Maybe it's coming your way. I'm not sure. Just keep it real says, I love summer storms. So it's, sorry, I'm getting a phone call, but hold on 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I guess this is par for the course, but if I don't do it, my phone will keep ringing. So, and it would be ringing in my ears. But no, I like summer storms as long as they don't negatively impact you. YouTube subbed you. That's like crazy. Yeah, everybody make sure that you're still subscribed. Hey, and hit those notifications so you can get notified. That really stinks, but I'm glad you were looking out for me there, Crazed. Let me tell you, you're so sweet. Today has been really pretty with light sprinkles and then bright out. Yeah, we've been sunny almost all day. Crazed lives relatively close, kind of, maybe an hour apart or maybe less. And so we've been sunny all day, and I had my patio door open, and all of a sudden the clouds came in, and then it was pouring. Had to shut the door, and now it just finished hailing. It was like hailing for a couple of minutes, which can do a lot of damage. And Cheesecake, you had 6 subs disappeared. Wow. That, yeah, I think sometimes YouTube does crazy things. I don't always get notified. I got notified about myself to myself, but that's all of that. Some channels I've resubbed daily. It's a YouTube glitch. Definitely. Some people think unsubscribed, but it's YouTube. Yes. It's nothing that you did. I didn't kick you out of here either. Oh, Roger said he's been in 4 tornadoes. Wow. Yep, I have been not like inside the eye of a tornado, even though I love that movie Twister. Beezer, all right, Grandma is being summoned. You're so sweet. And love on your little baby. That's super sweet. Um, when I was a kid, my parents, my sister and I would be sleeping upstairs, and they in the at night, and a tornado would go through, and they'd just be watching. So that's kind of, but unfortunately, if you've literally been negatively impacted by a tornado, it would not be a cool or good thing. Oh, Susie, when you ended your live last night, I turned on Nancy Grace. Did you see those body art found in Milwaukee? No. I'll have to check it out. That is really interesting. No, but we did have here in Waukesha that Slender Man crazy thing. And of course, the Christmas parade disaster, which is heartbreaking. Yeah, we really don't see too much anywhere here. And then at work yesterday, me and another coworker heard your boss mention tornado, but it was just a drill. Definitely. As a kid, we'd have tornado drills at schools and where you had to be. And I was very terrified as a child for that thing. But one of the things that I know we've gone off tangents, which is totally fine. I want our us to be, you know, talking, and if it goes off course, we're all good. I'm good. All right, here we need to find out about what's going on. They arrested a man, but yes, body parts were found throughout Milwaukee. That is crazy. That's almost like who was that dude? Um, I can't think of what his name is. That it was back in the 90s. He killed all those people. It was kind of trigger warning, by the way. I can't think of what his name was, but he was creeper, very much so. But oh, we were talking about how did you know? And I think I mentioned the other day how I went to a Little People's Conference, and yes, Jeffrey Dahmer, that's it, definitely. And I went to that parenting class, and all I was the only little parent there, and all the other average sized parents, there was probably 150 parents in there. They were all asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm here because you are just for the same reasons they were, because we were all very similar. We were in the same situation. And so cheesecake, yeah, if someone could post Cheesecake's channel, that would be really good. Your channel is Whittier and Lost Love Passing based, kind of like a self-healing thing. That would be very self-healing. I do widower club dates so people can chat about their loss. That is a really good idea. And you know what? You're helping people heal and share, because when you're in this situation, even like my parents, um, they didn't know, but the only way that they would have confidence is by meeting other people and seeing that their kid is good and okay and all of those things. And same for me. It was very hard to find people to talk to when my daughter suffered her brain injury. It was very hard because HIPAA laws, nobody could say anything. And I'd be like, give out my number. Definitely do that to find somebody who maybe would call me to talk to me about it. Oh, that's okay, Cheesecake. Um, yes, because there might be somebody here who wants to join your channel because they have suffered loss. Most definitely. It's hard when you're alone and you think nobody else understands. And for me and being in that situation, not because I had children that were little people, but with my daughter and a brain injury, I had no idea was she going to live? Would she know who I am? I mean, there was just so many things. What medical things are we going to go see? And Maggie has outlasted anyone, and she's probably way more healthier than we are. But there, through Children's Hospital, they had given my name, not my information, just my name and my number to work the group. And we were part of the first team that had been trained how to advocate for your child with special needs. Like, what are the rules in the school districts? People have IEP meetings, kids do, my kids did, for all sorts of differences. And I was being trained how I can help others because that's what I wanted to do. And there were things I didn't know, services through the school district that my kids qualified for, and how, like speech therapy. That's just one that I can think of. Speech therapy is speaking, right? Making sure your voice is clear, your words are clear. And that was it. No, speech is when you write from what's in your head onto a piece of paper. If you can't write down your thoughts or try to tell a story, it's part of your speech, whether it be written, oral, and that kind of thing. And it was very enlightening, and it really helped my children and get through the school system and what they needed to provide to make my child successful. Definitely. So I had to learn how to be an advocate, and I still try to advocate and help people try to advocate for their children and like what's acceptable and what's not. Let me see here. Oh, just please sub up to our supermod, Beezer, too. That's a great channel as well. And Just Keep It Real put up Cheesecake's channel too. So catch and subscribe, because when you subscribe to a channel, it helps boost the algorithm. So channels that are supportive will get bumped up, which will just help so many people. We didn't have YouTube growing up. I didn't. And then once I knew about YouTube, it was just about DIYs and fixing things, and it was kind of um, that was it. And now there's this whole other universe behind the how to fix your door kind of thing. Yep. And then when Craze said that she'd like to sub up if JKIR doesn't mind dropping your link. No, definitely. You guys talk about your channels that are here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on replay currently. Not. No, you're not. You're good. Cheesecake. I have a grocery store anxiety now. It's so silly because I recorded it and laughed at myself. You never know how things will affect people. I agree. I agree. Definitely. Yep. Something, and I have the only, I mean, of course, we've had people pass away in our family, but my closest was my dad. And that was devastating. And it's hard when you think about it as you navigate through life. Like they were there to help you, or you may smell something and it reminds you of them. And sometimes it's really hard. I get it. But I do have grocery store anxiety, like real, because I don't like the smell. I don't like the look. So I actually don't go to the grocery store. I have my groceries delivered from Walmart. Yeah, it was the best thing that I found in 2020 with COVID. It was the best thing, and it was the best $100 that I spent for the entire year to have grocery delivery. Definitely. Oh, yeah. I used to order all grocery. Yes, I love it. It was the best thing. I'd have no problems going shopping for clothes and doing other types of shopping or gifts through small businesses. But the grocery store, and especially Walmart, is so huge. And I don't understand why you could sell food and clothing at the same place. Like, I really struggle with that, actually. But now, Craze, you get it too. Sendix in Brookfield has a floor with clothes and beautiful gifts. Sendix is a local grocery store. I wouldn't say it's small business, but it's nothing. They have maybe 10 locations, maybe, and it's local to us, but it's costs more money. So if you need something, like a really good brie or blue cheese or a nice bottle of wine. Their produce is beautiful. Everything's perfect. It's great. Let's see. So you lost your phone for a minute. LOL. Mister, just keep it real. Just keep it up. Just found it for me. Oh my gosh, how funny that is. Can you believe I almost called him Mr. Just Keep It Up? I really thought I'm losing my mind. I really am. Yes, I'd rather go to a corner Walgreens and quick grab toilet paper and stuff. Yes. And I love Trader Joe's, which is my ultimate favorite. And we go there like once a week and a half kind of thing. I love it. They don't have but maybe 7 aisles, and they're short and they're easy. Or like to Aldi's, because it it has 4 aisles. 4 aisles doesn't overwhelm me or panic me by any of that. Crazed by the American Club in Kohler. That's like really cool. There's a Wood Lake Market, and sounds like the story you are talking about. Oh, yeah. So you don't have Sendix up there? I think it must be only in the 5 county areas. But then again, I don't know. But I know that they have them in Milwaukee County and Waukesha, and I'm sure that they have them in up north. Is that Walworth or Washington County? I think they have them up there too. Wow. So don't forget to subscribe to Just Keep It's Reels channel. It's great. It's got a little drama and a lot of good things that I'm sure she will have for everybody. You wanted to check out the Trader Joe's by the Cheesecake Factory near you? I just ate at a place in the little strip mall there. Oh yeah, down in Elm Grove. Yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is by Mayfair Mall. And I think there's another one there on Highway 100 as well. Samantha Stevens. I like Trader Joe's too. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's my favorite by far if I had to choose to shop. And then, do I like seafood? Yes, I do. I love it. Cheesecake, please. I'll be flying to Chicago next week. Back to over the road trucking. I see a bunch of Wisconsin. Oh my gosh. That is very close. I would say Chicago. I'm about 2 hours from Chicago. So it's not very far, but I do love to go to Chicago. Love to shop in Chicago. It's an experience all on its own, and they have amazing restaurants. So I hope when you, with driving, trucking, and you have that, you're very safe. For sure, definitely. All right, let me see. Roger says, please be careful and safe, Cheesecake. Ooh. I go to Maxie's a lot and get $1 oysters during happy hour, and has a nice vibe. Oh, I like oysters very much. Just keep it real. I love oysters too. Oh, and so does Samantha. I know. I love them. Where's Maxie's? Oh, Cheesecake, you have 25 years experience. You'll be fine. Great. I know. I think, like me, I'm more afraid of you, Cheesecake, than I am of other things on the road because you're so big and I feel so little. And then I've been trying to get to Woodfield Mall. Oh my gosh. I love going there, but refuse to take small children next time. Yes, definitely. There is no space. And I know I had kids, but I really did not enjoy myself when I would take my kids. Once they got older, and they could walk and they could feed and water themselves, I am good. I was good, but little, I watch you a bunch ever since JKIR invited me, Susie. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. And literally, please share this channel. And I know Just Keep It Real was really putting people's YouTube channels out there, and I so appreciate it. And I definitely will also subscribe up to yours today after my live, and I'm glad you enjoy it. Like I told people or mentioned in my other videos, if you all have like a question that you would really like me to address outside of this, you can either comment on my live or in my about section. My email address, spicylittleprincess@gmail.com. Yeah. Cheesecake. Oh, I hope you hit 500 soon. I hope so too. I really do. And it's just a personal, like for me, I want to be able to help others. And if there's anything that I can do, whether it's, how do I say this, that, like there's so many TV shows out there. Like we talked the other day about Amy Roloff had made a comment about as she's getting older, there could potentially be medical concerns that she needed to have her husband Chris be aware of. And that conversation kind of ended right there. And I expanded on that the next day. I think that was Wednesday. Again, any information I am not here to give medical advice. I'm just trying to make people aware, not only of our differences, but our similarities as well. Hey, Decisively, how are you, my dear? I hope you're doing good. I saw a snippet before I went live of your video that you had posted of you being in public. I think that was. So welcome to my channel. I love it when I talk about my dad and children. Everything you talk about is great. Thank you. I'm very passionate about my family. I truly am. And I love and I'm passionate about my friends and my experiences. But most of all, I would rather be talking or listening to all of you. Definitely. I'd rather, it's hard because sometimes, and what I would like to do is maybe do an open panel once a week where we can just talk, ask each other, drop my link in the chat and have somebody pop up and we just talk and get to know each other because that's what I like. I like talking and I'm getting used to reading and talking. It's different when I'm in the chat because then I'm kind of listening and focused on the chat. So it's really great. Well, thank you. Oh, let me see. Let's see. I'm kind of lost for a moment. Oh my gosh, crazed. Wouldn't that be fun if we all had like a meetup? That would be fun in person. But yes, Just Keep It Real is planning on coming to visit this summer. Well, I'm forcing her to come and visit. Cheesecake Cray says, I have my dad's side of the family that lives in Eau Claire. Mexican food is one of my faves. Today I had that Wisconsin fish fry for lunch. Yes, I was talking with Samantha Stevens about the Wisconsin fish fry. Okay, derailing again, but the Wisconsin fish fry, when I was a kid, if you were Catholic, you could not eat meat on Fridays. And then apparently along the line, that kind of changed. But because Wisconsin has such a huge Catholic population and focused on Lent, that currently now only you're only required not to eat meat on Fridays during Lent. So I think that's like 5 or 6 Fridays. But here in Wisconsin, every restaurant has a fish fry on Friday. Isn't that crazy? Every Friday. And it's very good. I don't eat fish every Friday, but if we're hungry for fish, you can go to have a fish fry anywhere. I am not aware of any restaurant that here that doesn't have Friday fish fries specifically. It's pretty cool. Samantha, I'm a long time supporter of the Special Olympics. Yes, you that is amazing, and what it gives kids and gives them confidence. It's amazing. It really is. For little people, we have the Dwarf Athletic Association of America, where we can compete amongst our peers who are similar, just like us. Zach Roloff talks about that because he's on the board of directors, I believe, for the Dwarf Athletic Association of America, or DAAA is what the name of that is. Just keep it real. I have family in Whitelaw. Yes, I think that's near Eucharist. And Craze says yes, and because it's Friday at Just Keep It Real, LOL. I work tonight, though, so no adult beverage. That really stinks. I enjoy good Southern comfort, and a sour old. Oh, you! I thought you were going to say food. That's right. Southern comfort old fashions are very popular, extremely. Roger. Fish and oatmeal. Ooh, oatmeal together? That sounds kind of crazy. You're, um, yeah, I think Crazed is from around there. Oh, same here. It's an annual one held here. It's not the big one like on TV. Did I miss something? One moment here. I missed something. What annual? What? I'm kind of lost. If you, Samantha, if either you or undecisively can, it's annual held here. It's not the big one like on TV. Oh, I think I kind of missed some of that. That you were maybe at a big festival or something. I'm not sure. Sorry, I feel like I kind of missed out. My fault. Samantha, it's a lot of fun. Whatever, it's a lot of fun. It is. Hanging out with me is a lot of fun, let me tell you. Very fun. But your whole career was in developmental disability services, near and dear to your heart. Mine as well. Very much so. Very much so. Oh, you were talking about Special Olympics. Oh, that's what I kind of missed. Yeah, definitely. It's an amazing organization. All right. And Roger, everyone, have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you. Well, thanks for coming into my chat. I really appreciate it. Just keep it real. Nice craze. She just said she's talking about Special Olympics. I know, I got so lost. I feel bad. And what I will do as well is I will put the websites in the description a little bit later this evening. And then if anybody that way, like the Dwarf Athletic Association of America, as well as Little People of America organization, that would be like amazing. Just keep it real. This is funny, but I bet Mr. Just Keep It Up has I'll ask. Mm. I can't believe I thought like that. Just keep it real. It's too funny now. Now I'm just going to call him just Mr. Just Keep It Up. That's funny. And bye, Roger. So glad to have you in my chat. Something else I wanted to tell you all as well. I wrote it down earlier, but when my daughter had spinal surgery because she had kyphosis, scoliosis, and spinal stenosis, and we have the Medical College of Wisconsin here in Milwaukee, and so she was in amazing hands. She really was. And her orthopedic surgeon, who was trying to fix her scoliosis, kyphosis, he had reached out at a conference that he was at to ask other physicians in other states who specialize with little people and who are orthopedic surgeons. Before he came together with a plan, he helped them plan what was the best way to have this surgery successful. And it was great that you would never even think that an orthopedic surgeon, you would just think they just know, but they do. They really reach out to other people. And even one of the people who he had reached out to, I think his name is Dr. Ains, I think. And he's a little person who's an orthopedic surgeon that is at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. And he's amazing. I watch him and he does surgery, and he's as a whole platform that he walks on, and just the strength. And he does work with a lot of little people and a lot of non-little average sized people as well. How amazing. People can do anything, whatever they have their mind to do. There are some jobs in this world that aren't meant for us. And there's a lot of things that aren't the world we can't do or we can't use. And I want to go through one of those lives too. And it's shocking about things that are not made for little people. No matter how you do it, it's not made for little people like myself. So that will be my next topic. So are you guys liking that idea? Like maybe once a week, we have like an open panel where people can come up and we can ask questions of each other. If you think that would be a fun idea, that would be great, because sometimes, we get to talk about it and have an amazing conversation. Hey, Mirandy. Good to see you, my dear. I hope all is well. And all right, I'm behind, but somebody was talking about something. It looked good up here a little bit. Sorry, y'all. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, now I figured out how to use this mouth with my fingers. I don't know. Just keep it real. You mean keeping up with the Kardashians wannabe? That's a good one. Keeping up. Yeah, she's so sweet and a social butterfly at Samantha Stevens. I'm sure I missed it as well. Who she is. How cute. It took me a second, lol. I had to read it like 3 times. That's funny. I know, like I'm getting lost in the conversation. So I apologize if I'm not making it in. That's funny. Mirandy, hello, beautiful friends. That is so sweet. It's true. Everyone in my chat is so beautiful and so loving and has been so kind to so many people. I love it. Oh, Samantha Stevens says, your daughter has Down syndrome. I love it. Love, love, love. You are so blessed. You really are. And that's so sweet. Like, I really do. I had worked at Children's Hospital for about 6 years before being kind of like a stay-at-home mom is what I want to call it. And little kids with Down syndrome were so cute and so loving and so sweet. I had worked at like a front desk kind of space. I'll never forget this little boy. Well, not really little. He was probably 12, maybe 11, 12. He literally jumped over my desk to give me a hug. At first, I didn't know what to make of it. People kind of got like, and I'm like, no, he was just so excited to see me. And he is was so sweet, and he still is, but I'm sure quite a handful. My kids have never flew across a desk before. Oh my gosh. And she is amazing. Oh my goodness. Do you decisively indecisive? That's so hard for me to say. Yeah, my daughter does. She is just sweet and a social butterfly and sassy. Laugh my ass off. Oh my gosh. My heart is so warm. Very much so. She is a big part of your world. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And you wouldn't want it any other way. And you don't know. And, she's just like us and our kids. They're sweet, social, sassy. The 3 S's is amongst probably all of us with our children and our daughters. Just the same, that's for sure. Definitely. Yeah, you all did. Thank you. Just kidding. Just keep it real. I think we throw off with the talk. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It worries you because she don't, and whatever that is. And if you're talking about your daughter, when Olivia was little, anybody who came to the door, if they were a man, she would tug at their pants and say, up, please. Yes, and that's the same thing with my daughter Olivia. There was no stranger danger. I have no idea. She'd be so excited to see a man that's all she'd want, and not women, just men. So let me tell you, nowadays she's a little bit more aware at almost 26 years old to stranger danger. But I get it. And yeah, and kids are quick, they see something, they can get outside. It's all very crazy. Samantha, I understand what you mean decisively. Start educating as soon as you think she's ready. Oh my gosh, absolutely. You know, they show all those videos, like YouTube videos. They're doing a test about stranger danger, and the kids still, after they answer, their parents teach them, remind them over and over again. And then there's that stranger with that puppy that they use to lure kids in. And that's really, really hard. Yep. So I hold her a little closer, if you get what I mean. She will be in fifth grade next year. Oh my gosh. That is pretty awesome. Oh, not such a baby anymore. Nope, you do, because kids disappear. And oh my gosh, I'll have to watch your video this evening. Definitely. Just keep it real. I don't blame you. I just think we have so many amazing people here. I'm going to remember to put those websites in my live, in my description, so you can go to them. But yes, how do you know? Everybody working together, everybody educating each other on how it works. And, you know, we are so blessed. And decisively indecisive, you know what was amazing? It wasn't amazing when I was a kid. Special ed, we were talking a little bit about advocating at school and individual differences. When I was in grade school, special ed was for kids with Down syndrome. They had their own separate little classroom, and they really didn't integrate with the other classes. They really didn't. And it was so, as a parent, and I realized what special ed was, it's not just for kids with dwarfism. It's for everybody. Kids who have reading disabilities or learning disabilities that are non physically visible. I mean, speech, occupational, like there's some kids that really struggle at holding a pencil. And it's just because they have things that people can't see. And what type of learning works best for them? Is it like books and paper and verbal, or is it electronic based? So there's so many things, and now they integrate all kids in the general ed classroom. So people aren't really segregated anymore. She's still kind of nonverbal. Wow, that could be to your advantage, decisively undecisive, because when they get older, they even get more sassy. I mean, with their mouths. I got a bigger video. I got to go edit together and put up. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Yes, I think that's great what you're doing. It so much helps so many other people see and learn and truly enjoy and be grateful for people's differences. It really does. Hold, food and watering issues at hand. Oh, that would make sense. For testing to see if for a dual diagnosis. That's pretty cool. Yep. It's good to know, even if there isn't. Just keep it real. My daughter has a PhD in special education and she loves her babies. Yes. Without even me being a mom, um, that the kids' differences have made me grow to love even more. Love every single person even more. It was super exciting. It is. And I get excited when I see someone or a child with an individual difference. Um, Samantha, I was certified to teach sex ed to adults with developmental disabilities. So important. Yes. Just because someone has a developmental disability means that they can't learn. And I'm sure it was challenging because people learn differently. Like some are verbal learners and, visual learners. I get it. My youngest son is a high functioning autistic. Wow. And, you know, they're just amazing kids. They're all kids. And I'm sure your differences with your son is totally different than your daughter. And I'm sure you have your hands full just in general, but I'm sure you totally love it. I would. I've been having it out with her school lately. They're poking this mama bear. Yep. Absolutely. Most definitely. I agree. And just keep it real said, go get them. I would. And I wouldn't back down either. That's so sweet. My daughter's a school psychologist. Yes, she is. And she'd advocate for you. Absolutely. Sometimes it's good to have an out someone who just advocates for the child, because when I worked with parents in partnership about advocating in schools, my focus was specifically the kiddo, which helps along the way with their IEPs or their 504 plans, and definitely for both of your kiddos, because you don't have to do it all on your own. There's those resources out there. Most definitely. Yes, your daughter as well. Definitely, for sure. But their hormones are functioning at a normal level. Did I miss something about hormones? Mine don't function at a normal level, that's for sure. Does the nephew need to be fed and watered? No, the child, the boy. Cranky. I didn't tonight. Is dinner on your own and it's not being celebrated? Well, we have leftovers. Put them in the microwave. It works that easy. As Samantha, Craze said, my husband years ago delivered birth control to a facility. Many were left with disabilities and a few residents snuck away. Wow. Unbelievable. Yep. That it's so good to hear your all stories. But because I need to focus on feeding and watering now, I'm so glad you all were here. Thank you very much so. I appreciate our conversations. How do you know? How did it, you know? Yeah, we're learning here about each other. And undecisively, it was so sweet that you were able to share your experiences. That's like amazing. Um, Thank you. I really love it. And I think sharing with your family, about your kids is going to help so many other people. And even if we don't have a child, let's say with Down syndrome, your heart will open up to more people. So it'll all be very good. I would love it. I love to learn. Did you catch your email? Well, thank you. I think I don't know. I'll have to go look back in the chat for your email. But thank you guys so much. Thanks for being here. It was so great learning with you. So the next live I do, I think we're just going to have like an open panel to talk about what we want to talk about, whatever people feel they'd like to talk about how amazing you all are. And I love it. So if you haven't liked and subscribed this video, please definitely do. Put questions or comments in the comment section. And I watch those and I try to stay up on it. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked. But Cheesecake, thanks for coming. It was so great to meet you. And Samantha, just keep it real, decisively, and crazed. You guys have been so amazing. And I know Beezer was in here, and there was a couple others that I've met haven't that I missed, I'm sure. But it was so good to see you. And yes, I am going to head out for the evening and get people fed. Definitely, decisively, if you want to put your email in the comment section too. And that would be awesome. Hopefully she can help and, take a little bit. Oh, sushi sounds good. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is a family favorite here. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So, let's just, but I don't know. I work on Sunday. So I won't be able to, maybe tomorrow, but for sure on Monday. Definitely for sure. And make sure to subscribe up to everybody's channels that were in the chat. And you can go look back and subscribe, but I'm definitely going to subscribe. And for sure. All I saw was poke bowls, and we love poke bowls. Love, love, love. That is the best. It's a big chunk of sushi in a bowl. It's amazing. Love it. So, anyways, I'm going to head out and I'm going to feed and water my family. And I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thank you so much. Goodbye.